So today is Saturday. I'm headed up to Middlebury. I'm actually here in Middlebury, going to pick up there's a 33-foot reflection going out to Woodland, Washington. And I tell you, when I was packing the truck up the other day, I twisted my ankle up real bad. So I wasn't even sure if I was even going to start a video on this one, but I sure won't be doing much. Don't figure I'll be doing much on hooking up and stuff. It just now starting to ease up enough where I understand it, but that's nice. Only fifth wheel on the road, and that is me, 21792. So get spun around and get her hooked up. So there it is, and I busted back to, luckily the TAs and the Petro sell these walking sticks, and like I said, I twisted that ankle up real bad yesterday, so I'm going to see what I can do about checking it for damages and get my battery put on, and I may try to get some hooking up, but probably just get back with you guys after I get on the road. So we are hooked up, headed to Woodland, and got back here and got all hooked up and was just about to pull out, and I remembered I forgot to put air in my airbags. And since my controller's not working, I like to overfill them. That way I don't have to keep dragging the air hose out if they're too bouncy, they're too much. I can just let a little air out and all good. Anyway, pull my air hose out, and it's the first issue I've had out of the onboard air since I put it on. No air pressure. So I went up and checked my fuse blown, and I didn't have another fuse. Not really sure what happened, so I put a paper clip in it. It came on, everything started working just like it's supposed to, and I watched and kept filling of the paper clip, make sure it wasn't getting hot, because I don't want to burn anything up if there's an issue. Everything seemed good. Went back, put the air in the airbags, popped it right up, and I think it had about 60 pounds of pressure in it when I started, and by the time I got back up there, that paper clip was glowing red. So I popped that out, and so now I have an issue with the onboard air as well as the airbag controller. That's not fun at all. And the only thing I can think of is I took the pressure washer to the truck while I was at home and cleaned off my fuel tank, because you know you're gonna spill a little fuel here and there and different things. So I just tried to clean everything up a little bit, and I'm wondering if I can spray air into the filter that goes to the compressor. That's the only thing I can really think of that I could have done. But anyway, just kind of starting to get the feeling that I should just stayed home. Between twisting up my ankle and a few other things, and then that, yeah, just really doesn't feel like the week's leaning my way right off the bat. But anyway, we'll try to turn it around, get on out here and have an enjoyable trip. Well, it's Sunday morning, starting to look like it's going to be a rainy day. I normally don't get up this early. Anybody knows me knows that. But I made it to Walcott. My ankle where I twisted up was hurting pretty bad, so I decided to call it a night there. And tried to go to sleep early, tried to get up. You know, I didn't try to get up early. I just woke up about right around 4 o'clock. And I figured I'm up now, might as well go ahead and take off. So, yeah, I've got a friend of mine gets up real early every morning, every single morning. They're up before 6 o'clock, and I know a lot of you guys probably do that, but I tell them all the time, I don't know why anybody voluntarily gets up that early in the morning. I just don't get it, but it sure is making for a nice ride. I don't know nobody going the way I'm going. I mean, I haven't seen any traffic going west in quite a while. I'm hoping that we can get on across to somewhere on the other side of Nebraska today, and hoping that the wind don't mess with me too much tomorrow in Wyoming. I know from what I looked at, it looked like it was a good chance that there would be some strong winds across through there, but maybe I'll slide through. Thinking about the onboard air, you know, giving me issues, blowing a fuse earlier, and all that, I got thinking about something. I usually try to stay on top of my maintenance. Really try to write everything down and stay with the mileages and all that stuff. I've never changed the air filter on that air compressor. It's got a hose that runs up into the bed, right up into the bed of the truck, and it's got a little small filter on top of it. And I got to thinking about it, I've never changed that, so I'm wondering if that filter, I got in there pressure washing around the other day trying to clean my fuel tank up and stuff like that, and it's right over top of the fuel tank, kind of off in a little corner. I wonder if I didn't spray something in that, or maybe it was already really dirty and when I got it wet. I don't know. I'm gonna check that sometime today. It's worked way too good for way too long for it to have been, and it's very coincidental. Right after I sprayed everything off right there around the filter that it happened. I hope water didn't run down into the top of the compressor, but anyway, I'm gonna try to figure that out somewhere on this trip. The other thing I want to talk about was the Comdata card. It seemed like quite a few people I know got hacked this past week and lost some money. I don't know how all that's working out. I know one person in particular said that they told them it was going to be 7 to 10 business days before they get their money back. And that's ridiculous. In my book, that's ridiculous because I don't know about anybody else, but I didn't necessarily ask for Comdata when I started. I do like the fuel discounts, but that to me is the only advantage it is. I would just soon have a direct deposit. I don't need another step between my money and my bank. But from what I saw, any of the companies you go to work for doing RV transport, they all use some kind of a card. I don't recall any that did. When I was looking into RV transport, when I talked to different companies, and from what I've heard, I've not heard of anybody that actually even offers direct deposit. So Comdata, EFS, or something like that's about the only way to go. And we didn't ask for it. They kind of railroaded us into it. They ought to step up and make things right, whether Comdata does or not. But I think I would be highly aggravated, as I know they are, if I was out here in Washington or Oregon or somewhere like that, and then all of a sudden they cut my, when you call them and tell them, hey, somebody's taking my money, this is not me making these transactions, first thing you do is cut your card off. So you may have $4,000 on the card and can't access it. So yeah, I would be very ill if that was me, and I think I don't understand when people, companies and everything else. I mean, I'm a really nice guy, but when I feel like I'm either being taken advantage of or somebody getting over on me or even thinking about getting over on me or whatever, I have a tendency to buck up on stuff like that. I really do. And I just don't understand where accountability just stopped. I mean, for the big companies and for all kinds of different things. I mean, I know if I do something out here and they can figure out how to blame it on me, I'm gonna have the blame for it. And there's not really a whole lot I can do. You're stuck with the accountability. But whenever it's the other way around, what accountability is there? You know, if I can guarantee you, if I did something that caused Indiana Transport or any other company that I've ever worked for to get held up on getting their money, oh, there would be a fee involved that I would have to pay. You know, you go to the parts store to get parts and they get you the wrong part. It's okay. You just spend your gas money and come on back and get the right part. You know, you go to the doctor and you're sick and they don't figure it out. That doesn't mean you don't have to pay. That just means you're out the money and you're still sick. That was the last time I went to a doctor. Had something going on, and $3,800 later, nothing. You know, so I really get touchy when it comes to other people's accountability, because I know I have to own up to my accountability all the daggum time, and it's really infuriating whenever you see other things and other people, other companies, especially bigger companies that don't have to own up to accountability. So I hope Comdata and Indiana Transport step up and make that right with everybody, because it's not our fault we got railroaded into it. Now we can't get our money, or somebody else has got our money. That had nothing to do with us. So, a little rant there. But anyway, I guess I'm gonna get on down the road. I'm hoping that the weather doesn't get too awful terribly bad. Like I say, I don't mind the rain. Just hope it doesn't. Hope there's not a lot of wind. See how far we'll make it today. So, this video, I left the house on the 16th, and I delivered that load on the 21st. Between my ankle killing me, the air compressor, I was trying to figure out what was going on with it. My air mattress went flat. I slept on the back seat for a couple of nights. That was enough to really frustrate me even more. I love the air mattresses. I sleep really comfortable on them, but I have noticed that when you go higher elevation, they air themselves up, and when you go like to Florida, you go to a lower elevation, they'll go flat. And I think what happened is I had it aired up to where it was comfortable for me, and as I went up into higher elevation, the air expanded and it got tighter, and it just got too much air in it and busted the chambers on the inside, and it started leaking. So the downside to the air mattresses is you can't just stop anywhere. You can't go run into Walmart and pick one up. The only place I do know that carries them is Dan's and Dealey Depot, if you don't order them off Amazon or somewhere like that. So while I prefer the air mattress, I know there's been a lot of people that see the videos and see that I like them. They order one and it doesn't work for them because they don't like the air mattress, or they leak or something like that. I had a couple buddies met me in Laramie, and they were empty on their way back, so I jumped in one of their trucks and went to Walmart and bought a Mainstays 6-inch memory foam mattress, and that's what's back there now. The positive to that is it will not go flat. The negative is I just don't sleep very well on memory foam, but I'm trying to get used to it. I will leave a link to it in the description if you guys want to check it out. And I had to trim this thing like 3 times. We cut it down at first. It was a twin size mattress, and we cut it and put it back here, and I thought it was going to work really good. We measured it out, and Tony, one of the guys that helped me out, he's really good with that kind of stuff. I've never been good with the measuring tape and stuff like that, but he measured it and it fit perfect to what I told him I want to fit. But it was getting into the back of my seats. I didn't realize that until the next day when I was driving down the road, so I had to pull it back out, cut it again, stood it and cut enough off, try and trim a little bit as I could to get that perfect fit, and then I had to pull it back out and cut it again. And this time it seems to be working really good. And I think after it's been 3 weeks. It's going on 3 weeks, and I'm getting used to it. You know, whether I like it or not at this point, I'm getting used to it. I'm not going to do away with it. It's manageable. It did raise me up about 3 inches higher in the back seat, and now every time I go to get out of bed, I bump my head on the ceiling. I'm not a fan of that. I toss and turn a lot when I sleep, so after I lay there for an hour or two, I sink into it, and whenever I go to toss or turn, I'm kind of, it's formed around, I just have a harder time with that. So if you sleep on a memory foam mattress at home, you may love it. Everybody else I know that's been recommending it to me and all that stuff, they don't understand how I sleep on the air mattress and why I haven't already done this a long time ago. So I'm going to give it my best shot, and if it doesn't work out, I'm ordering 2 air mattresses. That way I have a spare to carry with me. But tonight I am in Joplin, Missouri. I'm headed to California. Like I said, this is 2 weeks later. This is the 5th of, I guess, August. I don't know. And I started this video in July, so like I say, it's been a frustrating past couple of weeks, and I've dropped the ball on the editing and recording in the whole 9 yards, but I felt it was important to go ahead and put out what I could of this video to let you guys know that I didn't just stop and quit or anything like that. It's just sometimes things just don't go your way. Sometimes you just have a bad run of luck for a couple of weeks, and while it could always be worse, that's the main thing to always remember. You know, twisted up ankle, minor irritating issues with the truck, it can always be worse. The truck's still running great, the ankle's better. You know, it seemed pretty rough at the time, but things will always get better. So I just want to tell you guys, I really appreciate, everybody who's subscribed to this channel. It blows my mind. I was looking just a couple of weeks ago, it seems like we were talking about, somebody had said, hey, you hit 3,000 subscribers, man, that's pretty good. And I'm like, I don't look at a whole lot, anymore. So I said, wow, that's mind-blowing. And then it seemed like a couple of days later I looked at it and it was at 31 and 3150 and 32, and then it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I just woke up. When I got here, I was wore out, so I laid down and just woke up 2 o'clock in the morning, and I looked and it's 3250. I just can't believe how fast that number is going up. It blows my mind. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys. And I noticed this morning there are affiliate links in the description. Some of them are, some of them aren't. The main reason those links are there is to help you guys out if you want to see current pricing on anything that I'm using or something you may be interested in that you see in my videos. Now, it does help me out a little bit too. When you click on them, I might get a couple pennies off of it if somebody buys something. Mainly from Amazon. But I'm not a salesman. I don't care if anybody buys anything or not. But whenever someone clicks those links, I don't see who clicks them. I don't see anything like that. If someone makes a purchase, I do see that and how many pennies I get off of it. But for the most part, that's that. And you guys have been wearing those links out, and I appreciate that. And I had the Tony that helped me with the mattress back here. He said something about well, how do I even get to those links? And you just click on the title of the video and it takes you to the description, and if there's something that I forget to say in a video or something like that, I usually try to put it in the description, or anything that I find informative or helpful, anything like that. But all that means the world to me, and I sure do appreciate you guys for watching. I appreciate you for clicking the links. And but like I say, I'm not a salesman. Never buy anything that you don't need from anybody. And I'll tell you, as far as I know, everyone got their money back on the Comdata deal. They stepped up, they covered everything, and I think that's awesome. But I have been getting a ton of, your Amazon account's been closed, click this link here to reopen your account. Your PayPal is another one that I got, saying that my PayPal had been compromised for me to click the link to. Never click those links. I've been getting them in text messages. Never click those links. Always go to that company's website. And the first thing I did, I went to Amazon. I got on, I looked at my shopping list, and I saw everything was there, you know, and my account seemed to still be in good standings, and I just deleted the link. You know, I wish there was somewhere to report all that stuff to, and I think it's pitiful that there's not a better way to enforce stuff like that, because there's so many scammers out here nowadays. And any link that I put in the description of my video, to my knowledge, is going to be a good link that will get you. And just because I put the link there for whatever, like for these gauges, you know, that's not because I'm trying to sell you a set of gauges. I care less if you buy anything or not. But if you see them and you think, hey, I wonder how much those are, hey, I wonder if that will fit my vehicle, I wonder, one of the next projects I got, I went into Dually Depot and bought the weather front / bug screen for the truck. Y'all saw the bugs that I washed out at 300,000 miles, and I'm having an issue on the trip in this video. I had a horrible time keeping my oil temperature under 155, and to me that's just way too hot. I wouldn't known it without the gauges, you know. I like the gauges now that I got them set up, but they were really glitchy setting them up. And all the other videos I saw on YouTube about the gauges were, oh man, they're great. I like the looks of them, and I see people saying they're great. And I actually know some people who have them personally. I actually put a set in for another guy, and he loves his, but we did have a hard time getting his to update. I talked to another gentleman that had a Ford, and he ordered a set through the link that I put in the description, and his won't do a regen on a Ford F450. I didn't know that, you know, so that was good information to know. You know, try to watch videos where people are on anything, even down to the bugs, something as simple as a bug screen. You know, make sure that that product will work for your vehicle. And I've only seen one person do the gauges on the 2018 L5P. That's why I did the video in the first place. So I like to see, if I'm looking at a product, I like to see them on whatever application I'm using them for. Instead, if I watch somebody with these on a Ford, that doesn't necessarily tell me how it's going to work with my vehicle. So I always look for someone who did a review on the same vehicle that you got. So if you have a Ford or a Dodge and you saw my video of the gauges and you're like, well, I didn't even know they offered those, well, you know, don't go straight in there and click my link and buy them, or go straight to even Amazon or the performance place down the street and buy them. That's when you back out and look up on YouTube and say, hey, I have a 2022 Ford F whatever, and type in the gauge and make sure of how they're going to work with your particular application, you know. But anyway, guys, I'm going to show you a little bit more of the mattress back here, you know, how big it is and how it fits in the back of the truck, and then I'm probably going to call this video quits. On the way back, I did get a room in Pendleton, Oregon, and at the Wild Horse Casino. If you stay in the tower, I've not stayed in the courtyard, but if you stay in the tower, those are some very nice rooms. And if you play a little bit, I got that room for nearly nothing, because I had went in on the way up and played some. So, or no, I think it was a couple of trips before when we stopped out there. We all went out there and I played some. But anyway, I'll put a couple of pics of that up too. But I hope you guys are having a good week. I hope everything's going your way, and I hope you have safe travels, and I will see you in the next video. Here's how the mattress looks from here. The air mattress actually set down below the console by about an inch or so. Not much, but just a little bit below, and you can see this is almost 3 inches above the console. But it is what it is. And then if you come around back here, I still have the two. There's my cooker, and I have the two plastic totes from Walmart that I have a bunch of stuff in right here. Oh, right up. And then I have my junk box, my cooker, a couple of 12 packs of drinks, a tripod, sure you guys probably don't need to carry a tripod around with you, but there it is from the outside. And I haven't made my bed lately, so it's not ideal, but yeah, like I say, it did raise me up quite a bit in the back seat. I'm not a fan of that, but I'm getting used to it. And you know, it's not bad. At least it won't go flat on me.